So, big news. Fairly nervous, more nervous than I would generally be for a podcast episode. So, I'm going to read a script that I've written. I think it'll come across more thoughtfully that way. Here we go. So, my full-time podcaster status has come to an end. Most of you know that for the last 10 years or so, my goal has been to open a clinic of my own. Some of you have been around long enough to remember the 3 a.m. text that I received that terminated my first deal, or the company that fully launched telemedicine platform with me and shut it down within a week because they couldn't keep up with the need. Perhaps the Boston brothers that fell through but were the catalyst to me starting the podcast, or even the personal friend of mine that specializes in medical startups that just fizzled out when we couldn't get funding. I've been asked by listeners every now and then what the status is, and after being so close so many times just to have things fail, my heart kind of became hardened. I knew that I wasn't capable of making these dreams come true alone, but I couldn't trust anyone to help me. I'm just a guy that started a Facebook group about his passion. That passion, this Facebook group, and this podcast have afforded me the opportunity to have been offered partnerships and jobs from clinics and pharmacies, but I just didn't trust any of them enough to make the leap. I've been burned by a pharmacy or two as well. Being in a position to take a deep dive into hundreds of doctors' treatment processes became a bit of a curse. I just didn't like the way anyone was caring for their patients. The protocols were bad, or they were exploiting our wallets. I had seen how the sausage was made, and I was no longer interested in eating it. 4 years ago, I was contacted by a clinic that I'd not heard of before. They weren't huge, but their focus was different than other clinics. They seemed to care more about their customer service and patient treatment. They were more thorough and actually seemed to care about their patients' lives and their reputation. I began to talk with them regularly and mention them to the TRT community members, and you guys absolutely loved them. You were all treated well and thoughtfully, and it lit a fire. You began to talk about the clinic in the group, and it didn't take long for them to become the TRT community members' favorite option. My full-time podcast status has ended because I've been offered and accepted a position within Matrix Hormones. I'm going to be managing the day-to-day operations for now, and we'll see what the future holds. I know that anyone listening now that's followed my journey for any length of time is going to understand, but I want those that come along later to get it too. It'll be too easy to associate the good, free information that the TRT community provides as a funnel of some sort. And yes, I do want all of you to treat with Matrix, but to be fair, I've wanted that for much longer than I've been a part of Matrix. I only accepted this position because I knew that I was in the best hands long before I worked there. I've seen way too many bad clinics to not know when that's happening. I've had too many people come to me for advice after they went a different direction, and I've seen Matrix have 2 to 3 patient complaints in nearly 4 years. Having said that, I am completely stoked to get this thing going. If you're interested in treating with Matrix, shoot me a DM, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. I love you guys. I love this job. I love this industry. I love Matrix and everything they stand for. That's all.